What is going on? It's Friday. I'm going to be shooting another video today. Since I went a while without them before, I'm going to load the YouTube up with 3,000 in 2 days. Just joking. But yeah, we're going to do another video this week. Today, probably just film the top sets in the gym. I'm going to train chest. Probably not a lot of talking in there. Let me adjust this fucking thing. Maybe there will be. I don't know. You know how I roll. I don't really plan anything. I just do it and see how it comes out with at the end. God, guys, I'm still struggling getting the weight up. This is the hardest it's ever been. Hardest it's ever been. That didn't sound right in my head. I'm up, but it's not moving quick. Like I said in one of the other videos, I think my last video, about how, you know, it was tough, and I was, you know, getting things looked at, with, you know, health and whatnot, to see what was happening. Got all that straightened out, and let me tell you, I feel great. My head is as clear as it's ever been. I'm more logical now. I feel like I'm not going crazy all the time and losing my shit on everything, and, you know, that sort of thing. So, but the issues I've got are, I can't put that weight back on. Like I said, I was 219 when I dieted down, went all the way back up to 238 on a rebound, which was quite easy, and then had some health shit, so that's when I started looking into everything. Probably, I think I went back down to, I don't even know, it's in the mid 2s, like mid 220s, sorry. And, you know, I used to only weigh myself once a week, and now I kind of pop on the scale every morning, just because, for habit now for me, because even once in a while I'd forget to do it. It'd be like 2 weeks would go by or whatever, and I wouldn't really focus on it. But now I'm doing it every day, and it's like I'm just kind of fluctuating between 232, 233, and 230. But it's like sticking there, and this guy just decides he's going to walk in front of oncoming traffic because he's like, Jesus fuck, man. So it's kind of been sticking there. My calories are, I know they could be higher. They could always be higher. But I don't feel like before I wasn't feeling like I needed to crank them up that high, because I've never had to in the past. So I'm sitting at about, and I know it's not going to sound that great. Oh my God, more road construction up here. This is not good. I know in the past, you know, like I said, I haven't had to crank the calories to put a lot of weight on. So I know I was doing it. I know my calories were a little higher than they are now, but, you know, I like to increase things gradually, like not, you know, so I'm gonna have to start ramping up the food. That's the only thing I can come up with, is that I can't just do this anymore. It's gonna have to go like this now for a little bit, and that's fine. It's just gonna be more focus on food and forcing it in. Luckily, my appetite's back, so I'm not really having issues like before. I lost my appetite and I couldn't even get meals in, and I was dry heaving and forcing them down and washing them down with water just to get them in. So that's gone, so that's a bonus. So, I mean, I know it sucks, or I know it sounds stupid being like, oh, unfortunately I gotta eat more, and oh, it's so hard. I'm not really a big eater, you know, like I like food, but I'm not a guy that will eat huge amounts of food at once. Like, I pace it out with 5-6 meals a day. And you know, about 700-800 calories per meal. And that's pretty much it. So, you know, at nighttime they're not as high. My meals are probably around 500, but I mean, it's kind of how it is. So, we're gonna crank it, I guess, and we'll do that and see what happens. And that's another thing to think of, guys, when you're dealing with coaches and food and stuff like that. A lot of coaches, especially new coaches, only have one gear. And that's the only way they know how to diet somebody, and that's just crash and burn, right? And the other thing, I watched a podcast last night about a huge issue in the States is a lot of these bikini girls and figure and wellness girls are going to these regional shows with a coach that won that regional show, and since he won it, he's the fucking brains of Arrow. If he did it, then anybody, you know, what's your secret? Well, there is no secret. Everybody has to be trained differently and has to eat differently and has to take different drugs and have to do different things. There is not one program that works for everybody, and there's no liability behind it. And that's the thing with the States, and you know, hiring trainers that don't really have the experience. Sure, they got themselves into shape and won or competed, but that doesn't mean they can get you into shape. And what they did to get there doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And there's a lot of people, again, in this podcast I was watching, and I've known this forever, but it was good to hear it from other professionals. And these guys aren't professionals at the end of the day. They're just somebody that competed. And there's no liability behind them. You know, there's no... It's like, well, they're telling you what to do, and it's not a healthy thing to do, but they're doing it because it worked for him, right? That is the worst thing you could have happen to you. And just stay clear of that stuff. Make sure when you're hiring somebody, they've got many years of experience. They know what they're doing. They know they have more than one gear to diet you, prep you, show you the way, and just have the knowledge. I mean, anybody could go into a fucking 1,300 calorie deficit and lose weight. But what's happening? Well, where's your muscle going? What's blah, 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 blah. There's lots of factors that play into this. And they don't care. It's just a matter of, we're getting the fat off you and we're going to eat fucking 10 pounds of muscle off you too if we have to. Well, no, that's not how it works. So, at the end of the day, guys, be smart. Get somebody with more than 3 years of experience. At least, especially for shows. I mean, you want somebody that's got a lot of experience in a lot of different areas. But again, most people don't know what they're looking for. So they're just going by, well, that guy won. He must know. They don't. So stick with that. You'll be fine. So back to my food thing. That's, again, I like to do everything slow. I do that with clients too. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's times where you got to crash, there's times when you got to push, but it's not fucking 10 weeks out. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be on a fucking low-cal diet for fucking 8 weeks, not burning any muscle, or not burning any fat and chewing up muscle. I mean, so you gotta be careful when it comes to food and, you know, what you're doing with your clients and what I'm doing with myself and all that stuff. And it's a game, right? At the end of the day, it's until you get to know yourself or know your client, it's more trial and error at first. I mean, you watch the body respond and that, but things happen so quickly, especially 2 weeks out from a show, that they need to be there watching you all the time. And food plays such a factor in all this shit. So, anyway, we're almost at the gym. We're going to do some chest. Like I said, probably only film the top sets. Who fucking knows what I'm gonna do when I get in there? I mean, that could change in a second. But it's all upper chest today. So we'll be doing a shit ton of incline stuff. Hopefully. Well, we will be doing incline stuff. Just depends on which ones I decide to go with. And yes, I always have a game plan, you guys. Trust me. It might not always seem like I do, but it's how I roll. Like, the other thing is, my programs change week to week. It's the same base, but they change. I work different parts and isolate different things. The equipment stays the same, but changes also every week. A little bit. I like to tweak things. I like to change things. I use a different shit all the time. I know my weights for all of them. I know what I'm, that's training to me. It's keeping it interesting, changing shit up, but still keeping it the same, if that makes sense. So, if you don't have that, you will lose interest. I mean, you want change. You want to make sure it stays interesting. And maybe some people, I know there's some people out there that like the same thing day in, day out. Great. But you guys, eventually it's got to change. If it doesn't, you won't change. So, keep that in mind. All right, I'm rolling up to the gym. It looks fucking busy again. So I'm going to park in front of the door. Just because, oh my God, there's pylons everywhere. And then we're going to go smoke some chest and we'll see you. Back off. Oh. I'm not gonna lie, my chest is on fucking fire right now. One thing I didn't show in here, I don't even know what I was thinking. I didn't record the cable crossovers. That's what I started with. That's what I started my warm-up with, was cable crossovers, 4 sets. I didn't record it, so just thought I better throw that on there. So we started with cable crossovers. Went to the incline Cybex press, the dumbbell flies, and now we're currently on cable flies, doing negatives on there just to fucking destroy the chest. So you'll be seeing that next. Alright, we're on our final movement for chest here. We're gonna go with something a little different because I wanted to get on the Smith incline to finish. That's what I like to finish with, but they're all being used. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna change it up to a couple handles of bench and cable. This is more along the lines of Labrada training here. I've actually never done this movement before, but I can't imagine it's going to be any different than dumbbells, so the resistance. So we'll give her a rip here. Alright, so that's it. Deviated a lot today. This head's destroyed. Didn't film the crossovers, I said that, so I didn't want to do cable press at the end. But whatever. Besides that, decent chest day. So sign off, finish some cardio, and put this video up.